Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to take a look again at 10 or more Pokemon that are one move away from being meta. And I want to say thanks first for the support on the last video. I asked for 550 likes and we crushed like at this point like 750. So thanks so much. So if you want to see another version of this video, feel free to leave a like. If we hit 700 again, we're going to make another version of this one, part 3. So if you want to have this, feel free to leave a like. And while you're at it, feel free to subscribe as well. Would really appreciate it as we move right into the video. Moving on, first one, Torkoal. I think it's something that I talked about before as well in a different video. Adding Weather Ball makes a lot of sense on this Pokemon. Why? Because this Pokemon has in the main series games the ability of Drought, which usually gives Pokemon in Pokemon Go the move Weather Ball, which is quite interesting. There's one exception other than Torkoal currently, which is Tyranitar. I really want to include Tyranitar with Weather Ball in this video as well. Turns out, Tyranitar doesn't learn Weather Ball, which is something quite unfortunate because it would have helped this Pokemon out a lot, but I cannot add it because it doesn't learn it. So usually sometimes I make mistakes as well with those videos where like I add moves that they don't learn, but usually I double check everything. So Weather Ball Torkoal should be able to learn it. And also why I kind of want to include it here again is why, because Fire Spin got buffed the last time, like in between the last time I kind of took a look at this Pokemon. So Fire Spin now is like 10 and 10, like 10 damage, 10 energy for 3 turns, which is kind of nice. And so it's going to be a little bit better, and it's still not going to be as crazy good. For Earthquake, there might have been already a video where I talked about Earthquake as well a little bit. There is still potential to even make this Pokemon a little bit better, but of course, if you really want to have it even better, then go ahead and give this Pokemon Incinerate, and you're going to have an absolute monster for the Go Battle League. Fire Spin just is going to be a little bit short. It's going to be way better, by the way, in the 2-shield scenario, just because you are having like a little bit more reliable damage. But Torkoal is one of the bulkiest Fire-type Pokemon, so I would love to see this, and it's going to be better than it looks right now, trust me. And also, if you want to make it completely busted, give it Incinerate, and it's going to be even stronger. Moving on to the next one. I just included this one because I saw a lot of people asking for, like, what can I do with Lapras? Not a lot. Like, you would need to include, like, a new fast move, most likely, over Ice Shard for this Pokemon, or, like, a better coverage move. You could give it Drill Run, but, like, then you basically just have it Dugong, and I didn't really want to do this, so yeah, I gave it Avalanche, which is going to help this Pokemon a little bit because it's just going to be a better Ice Beam variant of this one. Here it's running Scalabash, but like as you're gonna see here, it's going to give this Pokemon a little bit more play, and I think it would make this Pokemon way better as well. But I kind of want to talk about this one as well because I feel like there is a need for like a different new water type fast move. I know water types are everywhere, we don't need more water types and stuff like this. I know like this kind of conversation in general. Here we actually still gain +4 wins, by the way, by adding Avalanche, which is quite decent. But why I kind of want to give like a new water type fast move, either like Whirlpool or Flip Turn, I think Flip Turn would be cooler. It's just because water type fast moves suck, like they are kind of bad. We're going to have a Water Gun, which is kind of okay still, but the rest is kind of garbage. Like Bubble is also still okay, but like they're not good, like they're not like perfectly fine or whatever. Like they are better normal fast moves like Shadow Claw or whatever. And if you take a look at the current meta, most water type Pokemon have different fast moves like Wing Attack on Mantine, like Mud Shot on any kind of Mud Boy, so they barely ever use any kind of water type fast move pressure. And so I kind of want to see Lapras with like something like Flip Turn, which is going to be maybe a little bit of a weaker clone of Volt Switch, like 1 less damage, which it would be kind of translated directly from the main series game. So hopefully stuff like this is going to happen, but for now, Avalanche seems to be a good fit. I didn't want to give it Ice Event, it would have learned Ice Event as well, which of course would make the Pokemon better, but I don't really want to have another Dugong. So this basically more an offensive Dugong because you do more damage with it and you have more offensive coverage with a double stab of Surf and Avalanche. And like Dugong is just the defensive counterpart, so like depending on what kind of style you want to have, I feel like that's going to be a little bit better. Be aware of Bewear. I think I added this one before, but I kind of still want this to be happening. Give Body Slam to Bewear. There might be a video coming up eventually as well. I haven't recorded yet at this point where I talk about Body Slam in a little bit of a negative way, but we will see about this anyway. Maybe I'm not going to release it, who knows. Going to get a lot of hate anyway. But Body Slam here would be very cool for this Pokemon. Just having double stab on your charge move is going to be great with Shadow Claw. It would be so nice. Bewear has pretty okayish stats, like it's not like horrible either. And so I would like to see this Pokemon. I think it would even have some play in like higher up metas like Ultra and Master League, which is kind of funny. So Bewear, I feel like kind of would like to have some love with this one with like the Stomp. And honestly, like this Pokemon is like one of the Pokemon that I would see body slam the most on because like it usually body slams all the time in the anime and whatever. So yeah, hopefully we're gonna see this. Would be kind of cool for this to have like 2 very strong stab moves unlike a Pokemon that is fast but squishy. So hopefully we will see this, but we have to see on what Niantic is going to do. This one, I think I maybe also included before, I can't remember, but Forretress with Drill Run is something that I really would like to see. Forretress is cool because Forretress has a double weakness to fire, but that is, I think, the only weakness it has. I think, maybe I'm wrong, but double weakness to fire, I think it's kind of like the similar typing that like water and ground, we only have like one double weakness, and that's basically it. I think it is. Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, you can let me know in the comment section anyway. But this is going to have, like, this Pokemon has a great typing. Bug Bite is a fast move, it's like a one-turn fast move. It's kind of cool for a bulky Pokemon like Forretress. Mirror Shot gives you some decent bait coverage. And if you give Drill Run to this Pokemon, which it of course learns, this Pokemon would gain quite a lot of decent matchups here, like Registeel, like Swampert, like the Feraligatr. And so I would like to see this. It would be a little bit more consistent. You would have some better damage output. Gaining 5 wins here in the one-shield scenario is quite nice, plus 50 average. This Pokemon would definitely be very solid, especially for like limited metas, but also for the normal meta. I feel like this would be a very balanced, especially like balanced Pokemon, but just a solid Pokemon in general. Moving on, we're going to have a Victreebel next. So Victreebel is going to be a Pokemon that would learn Weather Ball, and I would like to see Weather Ball in this Pokemon. This is something where I see also people going to complain about, but like Weather Ball was like the thing that kind of people wanted to have for the community day already. And I still feel like it would be kind of an interesting thing for it. It is like a Weather Ball user even in the main series games where like people actually run Weather Ball on this Pokemon if you run Sunny Day on it as well, because it has Chlorophyll, and so Weather Ball Fire, it would make sense on the Victreebel, allowing you to hit Steel type Pokemon, but also it would make the Magical Leaf moveset a little bit better because you would have better coverage. And better coverage would be really good for this, because while you don't see really a big difference on the right side in terms of like what you beat only the Registeel. Sludge Bomb is kind of bad, like Sludge Bomb is something that you barely even ever want to use. But now you're gonna not get completely walled by the Skarmory. You're still going to lose against the Skarmory, which is also fine, you're a grass type Pokemon. But you're not getting completely destroyed by it, so there can't be like brain dead teams here of like Skarmory, Double Water, Ground, and you can just completely punish them with that, which would be really good for you. But yeah, I feel like this would be a cool addition still, would basically shift a Victreebel more towards Magical Leaf again compared to the Razor Leaf most likely. I would like to see that, but it is what it is. We can move on to the next one. One for the Ultra League, also for the Great League, not so much for the Master League, is going to be Crobat with Wing Attack. You have already Golbat, why do you not give it to Crobat? I don't know if there's going to be a video out already, this depends not on me, but on a sponsor, but yeah, I was talking about Poison Fang in a different video as well, which hopefully is going to be already on the channel. Poison Fang I would like to see a buff towards as well, but Wing Attack is going to be something that Crobat really would like to have for the Ultra League. Like, look how strong this Pokemon would be in the Ultra League just if you give it Wing Attack. And I feel like it would be kind of balanced, and I think it would be a kind of cool Pokemon to have, just because as you're gonna see here on the right side, it's going to be quite a lot of Pokemon. We haven't had a community day for Crobat yet, did we? I don't think we did. Maybe we did actually, I don't know, I don't think we did. But like Crobat would be a cool Pokemon for community day as well, but I don't really want to see a Wing Attack Crobat community day, but like some other cool coverage move or whatever. But this Pokemon has a lot of potential, and I would like to see that for sure for the Ultra League. This is honestly, I think, my favorite one. Banette with Icy Wind. And this is like kind of the thing that I kind of want to see for move updates anyway. Give Pokemon that are squishy, very strong moves. Like Icy Wind is going to help Banette quite a lot. Why? Because you're going to get there quite fast. I think you need like 6 Shadow Claws to get there. But also, it's gonna give you some artificial bulk on this Pokemon, which is quite important because this thing is like insanely frail. And so giving this Pokemon Icy Wind going to allow you to gain an average of 160, which is kind of cool. Like, it learns Icy Wind for sure, and it's going to give you coverage against Gligar. It's going to allow you to have a Pokemon that can farm down Annihilate. It's going to be a Pokemon that is going to gain 11 wins by only adding Icy Wind, which is like so cool, and that's kind of why I like this series a lot. You can have like Pokemon that are completely unusable basically currently, and just completely make them meta like the Banette. And I feel like Banette is also kind of nice twist towards like the early seasons. I think it was a Caleb Pang team where like Shadow Banette was like so overpowered that it got like to like one of the highest ranks in the world and whatever. It was kind of mad. So like, cool time there, kind of Pokemon I would like to see a buff to, and I think Icy Wind is a very solid move to give to this Pokemon, and I think it would not be overpowered at all. this Pokemon is something that you might consider as overpowered. Shadow Claw Leavanny. I know, like, giving counter and Shadow Claw is like an awkward topic. I wish there would be more moves like Shadow Claw and counter. Like, that those are not like the only ones that are like that good, basically, to make a Pokemon from useless to overpowered. But what we're going to see here is an average rating of 478 with a Razor Leaf and 15 wins to 26 losses. With Shadow Claw, you only gain actually 3, and this is kind of fine. And I think it's kind of balanced, because like Leavanny is actually a quite squishy Pokemon. You have a ton of weaknesses, like a double weakness to flying, a double weakness to fire, a weakness to rock, a weakness to ice. You have so many weaknesses with this Pokemon, so making it insanely spammy and giving it a double stab with like Leaf Blade and Extra, which are both very hard-hitting moves, is quite cool, and I would like to see this for sure. But I feel like Leavanny might be also a Pokemon that has like a community day eventually, and they can give it like even a better coverage move over Exeter, and then it would be even cooler. But yeah, Shadow Claw Leavanny, I would love to see this Pokemon, because like nobody is using this. Like, that's kind of why the series is here. We kind of want to showcase some Pokemon that have potential just if you give it the right move, and Leavanny is definitely one of them. Next one, I don't know how to really explain this one. It's Vullaby. I don't want to see it on Manabus, I just want to see it on Vullaby. Please don't put it onto Manabus, because Manabus would be way too broken. But Vullaby would be kind of fine. Look at the current average rating of 413. This Pokemon is just a small little bird, but Steel Wing. Going to help us out quite a bit, because Air Slash is a pretty garbage fast move. Steel Wing is a pretty decent fast move. Going from 14 wins to 21 wins, while also beating something like a Whiscash now, a Vigoroth, like that you beat a Whiscash, while you have a move that's resisted compared to the move that was previously neutral plus stab, is kinda mad, but you're gonna gain 70 average rating, and I think it would be a very balanced Pokemon as well. Also, might be a cool trap for Carbink. You would need some better coverage though over Foul Play and Brave Bird, but still a cool Pokemon. I would love to see Steel Wing on Vullaby, because Steel Wing is like such a good move, which I feel like maybe needs a nerf as well, looking at you, Skarmory. But yeah, still, like, if you're gonna give this to Vullaby, I think this would be kind of funny, and I kind of would like this bird to be a little bit better. This is going to be the final one for today. It is again like something that's more common in terms of opinions, which is going to be Ledian getting the move counter. Currently having already the buffed Aerial Ace plus Dynamic Punch from previously, going to make this Pokemon a quite interesting fighting type Pokemon. But also, because there's Aerial Ace, which is stab, you're going to be an anti-annihilate Pokemon, which is quite decent, and so I would love to see this thing alive for sure. But you know what's also kind of funny, which I find hilarious? If you run counter on Ledian, you actually beat Bastion, because like Bastion is going to do double super effective damage against you, but you do double super effective damage against them. You both are crazy tanks. I find it kind of hilarious just that you can beat like something like Bastion with like a bug that's flying type as well. So yeah, this would be my final update for today. If you wanted to see another episode, you know exactly what you have to do. You have to click the like button and subscribe to the channel. Would really appreciate it, and I'll see you then. Bye bye.